Trading days, May 2nd, 2015. We're going to look at a few charts here. We'll start off with the daily chart of the SP 500, and what we can say, this continues in volatile congestion here. Really, we could look back, we're still near the November 2014 prices. We haven't really moved. We had a strong up day on Friday. As we get closer in this symmetrical triangle that we've talked about, we're now up to the top of the triangle again, and waiting to see what happens Monday. Just briefly, price is above both the 15 and 45 day simple moving averages, which is bullish. And the 15 is above the 45, which is also bullish. We're in the 13th week of the nominal 18th week cycle. And if I'm looking at this chart and only this chart, I might think that we're going to break to the upside, which is possible, out of this symmetrical triangle. But let's look at some other charts. One we've followed here for the last few weeks, and really, if you go back in the blog, we've covered this for a few years, and it's the 225 calendar day cycle, and that's what these red vertical lines are showing. They're 225 days apart. That happens to be exactly the time period for the orbit of Venus around the Sun. So I call this a Venus cycle chart. You'll see that the history, we've hit a lot of lows here, and we've hit some highs. If I'm pointing this one back in 2012, the previous one to the current one, that was a severe drop-off, and I was looking for something like this previous one now. So it hit on April 29th, and that was a down day, and the following day was up. So I was expecting this to move down based on this Venus cycle. Let's look at a couple of others, and I've talked in the notes there about the Saturn sesqui square Uranus. These are two very slow moving planets. This is a 3-pass this time. It's going to hit 3 times due to retrograde motion. Should have mentioned these are so far all geocentric aspects. So here's the actual aspect. It is the red square on the chart, so you'll see 3 of them. I said there was a 3-pass. The previous one was December 3rd, and within a few days, actually the 3rd day, broke sharply down. And I was expecting something like this this time around. So Monday, this is exact again with the other things we talked about in the notes, the Jupiter and the full moon. And the last one is in October 2015. So that's the 3-pass. Very slow moving planets. They really need a wider orb, maybe a week or 2 either side. They're very slow moving, don't happen very often. The sesqui square is 135 degrees, and that means these 2 planets are separated by 135 degrees. That is an 8th harmonic aspect. If you take 360 degrees in a circle, divide it by 8, you'll get 45, and this is one of those aspects. They're typically the type of aspect that is going to manifest in this physical world. It isn't going to be a thought or a good feeling. Should be some concrete action. Let's look at least one more that we've covered recently, and that's the midpoint chart. Here we are. Okay, so we've showed this the last few weeks as well, and it's these blue lines we're really want to concentrate on. The chart itself is a daily chart of the SP 500 again. These blue lines are taking Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. It's taking their average longitude of those planets and converting it to price. Now you'll see in the past this has acted as really excellent support and resistance. And we've kind of hung around this dark blue line, which is the price, converted price from longitude for those planets, and so we'll look at this as, because we've closed above it, we're going to look at this now as resistance once again. So watch this area early in the week. That area is at 2,099 or $2,100 in the S&P 500. We'll look at one more chart, and that is the, I've mentioned this out of bounds frequently, so this is the other, what should we call this? If we look at the individual planet's longitude, look at that as a horizontal indicator, and the declinations, which we're going to show here, they're a vertical indicator. It's not really the word I'm looking for, but I've mentioned they're out of bounds. So this light blue line, that is the maximum that the sun will move up or down off the celestial equator. Now, when a planet goes beyond that, they're said to be out of bounds. And typically what we've seen with, let's just go back and find the last one. This green line is Venus. I've mentioned a couple of weeks ago it was going out of bounds, and that was on April 17th. So let's just go back and see if we can find one here. So this, yeah, I don't have one there. Okay, here's one back in 2013, and it's Venus, and this is an interesting one. It's the light blue line I'm looking at here. So this was went out of bounds on May the 24th, 2013, and came back from out of bounds on June 20th, 2013. So really between these two blue lines. And what happened during that period? It basically, it was going up and changed the trend and moved down. And then when Venus was back out of inbounds once again, prices started moving forward. It doesn't always do that, but if you look in here, it gets quite volatile. That's what seems to always happen when these shorter term planets, Venus and Mercury, move out of bounds. So let's go back to the closer to the present. So that was Venus going out of bounds. Now we'll see this red line crossing the blue line, and that's going to happen on Sunday night, and that's Mercury going out of bounds. So with both of them out of bounds at the same time, I'm looking for increased volatility, and we've certainly been very volatile anyway. I'm looking at it more volatile. And with the other aspects we've seen there, with the Saturn sesqui square and the 225 calendar day cycle, the Venus cycle I mentioned. I'm looking for it to go down. There are bullish factors, not talked about. The bullish factor is one of them being the Fed, but there's looking at that first chart there, that appeared very bullish as well. So watch Monday, Tuesday closely, and that's all I'm going to say on this one. That was probably too much.